Hey folks, welcome to another video in Python's tutorial series. My name is Ajit and let's jump onto it. If you're new to Python or a complete beginner, then you need to install two things. First one is Python. So let's get started here. I need you to head to the website python.org/downloads, and on this downloads page, click on download Python 3.9.2. So at the time of recording this video, this is the current version. But there is a chance that when you start this tutorial, there might be a newer version. But don't worry, this code should still work on the newer version that you're using. So click on downloads. That should begin the download. And here you can see the download has begun. Once it's finished, we will get it installed. So yeah, I'm going to double click on it and initiate the initiate the installation. As you can see, you have this install now button here, and then there is add Python 3.9 to path option. Check this path on Windows, and I'm sure check this path on Windows and click on install now. So I'm going to, it will take some time. I'm going to pause the video until it completes the setup. All right, the setup is now successful, as you can see. Click on close and now head over to this website called code.visualstudio.com. So Visual Studio Code is famously called as VSCode, is an integrated development environment developed by Microsoft. And you can click on downloads for Windows. If you are on a different operating system, don't worry, this IDE is available for all the platforms out there. So you should be able to see the link, and you can install it on your Linux or Mac or whatever operating system you're using. So it's currently getting downloaded, and once it is done, we will install this one as well. So IDE is nothing but it's a software development environment that boosts your productivity with features like autocomplete, syntaxes, code running environment, inbuilt terminal, and so on. So I'm going to install this now. Select I accept, then hit next, and so on. You don't need to do any other additional settings. You can see it's going now. I'm going to pause the video until it finishes. All right, the setup has finished, and you can see I'll hit finish now, and it should launch the Visual Studio Code automatically. Okay. By default, it comes with a dark theme, but if you want to change the theme, you can do so from the file menu. Go to preferences, and you can choose color theme. So there are different themes that you can use. Those who like light themes, you can choose it from here, and then there are some other themes as well. So now, in order to manage our project better, we need to create a specific folder, or we need to keep all our files in a particular folder. So we have options such as, open folder or open file or open workspace. So what we will do is we will select open folder, and we can let's go to here. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Learn Python. Okay, this is where I'm going to manage all my files that I'm going to create in these tutorials. So I select this folder, and that opens up in an Explorer window. So you can see I have this folder over here. So inside that, you can create files, you could create folders, and manage a project entirely within this particular folder itself. So next time when you close and open your Visual Studio Code, it's going to open in the same folder unless you change the folder from the file menu, right? So let's create our first file, and there are some important things that we need to learn as well as we learn Python. First of all, the file extension .py is, by convention, it's the extension for Python. So I'm going to create my first file and going to call it hello world file. Okay, now the name of the file is hello world, but the extension is .py. So as you could see, I have created a file and I've called it hello.world.py. And now as soon as I hit on this, it opens up the file in the right side window. it's also important that you need to use shortcuts while using the integrated while using IDE, because that increases your productivity. On the right hand side, I've got this new pop-up and it says no Python interpreter is selected. You need to select a Python interpreter. So this basically means this particular IDE does not know how to run your Python code, and that is why you need an interpreter. So we have already installed Python, but for this in order for this IDE to use that extension, setup, we need to select the so you can select the interpreter. So I just clicked on select interpreter, and I'm going to select this Python 3.9.2 64-bit, which is installed at this particular location, and that will act as my Python interpreter. Well, that's the basic setting that you need to run any Python program with Visual Studio Code. It's very simple. It's as simple as that. So let's write our first program, because that's always special, writing your first program. And let's call a function called print. Now print function is used to print output on your console, right? So you could write print, or you could use single quotes, or you could use double quotes. It's totally your choice. And I'm going to print a string called hello world. So this is my first program that I'm going to write, and on the right hand side there is a button which will run this program and print the output, right? So I'm going to just hit that button, and as you can see, it brings up the terminal that's inbuilt inside this program. So I've just zoomed it a little bit, and as you could see, you could now see this name clearly, and you could see this output clearly, right? So this is how you run your first program. You just have to click run, and that should do that should give us the output. So that's about your writing your first program. Now here onwards, we're going to understand each and every term. I will try to simplify each and every term for you in the next tutorial. Thank you.